7 years back, I lingered beyond my folks' home on a Thursday evening in October, capturing my personal memorial service. Not the sort involving actual demise, but the variety where relatives rejoice in your continued existence, yet secretly hope you'd vanish. They organized a gathering for my 30th birthday, dubbed it a wake for my prospects, and distributed genuine invites featuring my image etched on a gravestone. My sibling Laura assisted in crafting those invites. Before diving deeper into the chaos, let me clarify a key aspect of my household. My parents, Harold and Margaret, devoted my whole upbringing to pitting me against Laura. She's 3 years my junior, completed a public university with solid marks, landed a starter role at a promotional agency, and instantly became the prized offspring who erred never. In contrast, I pursued an alternate route, quit local college after 12 months since juggling 3 gigs left no room for studies, devoted my initial 20s to building trades, snagging tech gigs sporadically, self-educating in coding during evenings. My father labeled it squandering my abilities. My mother deemed it shaming the clan. By my 30th milestone, I remained in a modest flat across the city, persisting with independent gigs, unattached, persistently hustling. They perceived defeat. I perceived differently, though I'll elaborate shortly. The event unfolded at their residence, the identical abode from my youth, a respectable 3-room dwelling in a district once solidly average before realty costs surged. I wasn't formally summoned to my mock burial bash, learned of it via a relative who presumed my awareness and inquired about my comfort with the motif. I motored there that evening, stationed my ride a block away, and approached on foot, detecting tunes and chuckles from the approach. I positioned myself by the front room pane, peering straight inside. Roughly 30 attendees filled the space, kin, parental acquaintances, a few of my parents' colleagues, even Laura's partner then. They clutched beverages, guffawed, relished the vibe. And atop the shelf rested an enlarged snapshot of me from secondary school bearing the dates 1995 to 2025 below, as if I'd truly perished. My father rose to deliver a salute. I observed him via that glass, device already filming since instinct warned I'd crave evidence someday. Harold elevated his cup and declared it had been 3 decades since their gravest error. Uttered it aloud, grinning, as though it ranked among his wittiest quips. Guests chuckled. My mother Margaret tapped her vessel to his and appended that she ought to have terminated this flop when possible, now burdened with a 30-year-old flop. Further merriment, genuine applause from several. Then Laura rose, my younger sister, clad in a somber gown as if genuinely mourning. She rambled on regarding my lack of genuine employment, my inexperience with romance. Merely a lamentable void who disgraces the lineage wherever cited. She claimed she informs her circle I never materialized because simplifying beats detailing my essence. The assembly exploded. Folks clashed cups and saluted my inadequacy. I filmed 12 minutes of this spectacle, witnessed my kin and those acquainted since infancy revel in my inadequacy. My uncle Dennis attended, chortling alongside my father's kin, my mother's kin, parental pals who once gifted me holiday tokens. Each viewed this as uproarious. I refrained from storming entry and challenging them, avoided spectacle. I retreated to my conveyance, idled perhaps 20 minutes replaying that capture repeatedly. Then I motored away, prepared my evening meal, viewed some clips, retired, because here's the undisclosed truth they ignored, what I've withheld from all, until this instant. For 7 years prior to that affair, from age 23 onward, I'd been constructing, acquiring knowledge, forging something beyond their grasp or comprehension even upon explanation. That quitter offspring who shamed them, I'd already invested 3 years into a deliberate endeavor when they hosted that event. The building labor, the tech assignments, the independent tasks, each contributed to a grander scheme. Something I'd initiated at 23 upon eavesdropping my father confide to a guest at a cookout that siring me ranked as his costliest blunder. At 23, I delved into land acquisition, property regulations, lending frameworks, corporate formations. Self-taught comprehensively. Allocated funds for seminars, credentials, attorney sessions on establishing firms. Each extra cent from those 3 roles funneled here. While they contrasted me with Laura and her promotional post, I cultivated alliances in property sectors, uncovered mechanics of asset shifts, how loans transfer among holders, how one might claim possession sans the initial holder's awareness until finality strikes. My parents restructured their dwelling's loan 4 instances from 2016 to 2023, each juncture amid distress, craved liquidity, erred gravely. Each occasion they offloaded the obligation to purchasers, and each time I ensured awareness of the acquirers, the pathways, and proximity methods. By 2021, I'd formed an acquisition firm. Modest, lawful, valid, commenced procuring minor loan documents, internalized the mechanism firsthand. In 2023, their obligations circulated anew. They faltered, lagged on dues, nearing total loss, and whose firm secured the document, they remained oblivious. Documentation routed via a servicing entity I engaged, fully formal, fully compliant, fully transparent. I now controlled the liability on the abode they'd occupied for 3 decades. The abode hosting their festivity honoring my letdown. Yet I withheld action then, merely retained it. Sustained dues to maintain currency. Expanded my enterprise, persisted in those assignments. Remained silent, remained enduring, permitted their assumption I lingered as that letdown in a cramped flat sands horizons. Laura persisted posting online about gatherings I excluded from. Festivities where they'd remark relief at my absence sparing disruption. Recent month shifted dynamics. I'd devoted prior years to growth, accumulating resources. Forging ties, my compact acquisition firm thrived. Not fortunes but stable, authentic, yielding. And I'd awaited the precise juncture to reveal their abode's proprietor. That juncture arrived 3 weeks prior on a Monday. My father rang, initial contact exceeding a year. I nearly ignored, yet intrigue prevailed. He required funds, urgent concern with their conduits, matter of base concerns. The dwelling demanded substantial fixes beyond their means. He solicited a $15,000 advance. Delivered casually, yet undertones screamed urgency. I replied I'd ponder and reconnect. Disconnected and pondered perhaps an hour, replaying that memorial festivity. The chill exterior vigil as they saluted my nullity. Then I contacted the servicing entity managing their obligation. Initiated the sequence I'd orchestrated across years. Observed they'd lagged 3 months on dues since I'd ceased subsidizing via the servicing entity. I'd buoyed them covertly since acquiring the document, yet halted in January. Allowed arrears. Allowed summonses accumulate. Permitted alarm. And now confronted seizure actions, and they lacked notion their letdown progeny wielded the remedy or the escalation. I recontacted my father 2 days hence, declined the advance, yet knew a party potentially aiding their lending plight. Furnished the servicing entity's contact. He failed recognition, failed linkage, merely expressed gratitude, remarked perhaps I wasn't utterly futile after all. I omitted retort. Prior week my mother rang. She wept, inquired my paternal updates, asserted dire straits with the dwelling. The lender menaced seizure. They pondered bankruptcy, might forfeit all. She solicited aid contacts. If my tech associates grasped such matters, I assured inquiries and disconnected. Prepared my meal. Reviewed the memorial footage anew, likely the centennial viewing. And composed a dispatch to the servicing entity with precise directives for the subsequent stage. Yesterday dawn, they obtained a verified missive from my acquisition firm, notifying their obligations delinquency and seizure initiation in 30 days absent full settlement. The missive detailed the firm possessing their document. My firm, my identity and records, all delineated explicitly. My device surged. 247 overlooked rings upon eventual check last eve. Messages from both progenitors, from Laura, from kin, from parental acquaintances. My father's tones and captures differed unprecedentedly. Genuine weeping, pleading response, imploring halt, we're devastated, the abode vanishes, all vanishes. Please, we entreat. Laura deposited 16 messages hurling every epithet imaginable, asserting I dismantled the clan over wounded sentiments, claiming I'm a fiend rendering them destitute over a trivial affair 7 years past. My mother's dispatches oscillated betwixt pleas and indictments, asserting impossibility of such to progenitors, querying grudge endurance type, vowing unforgiveness should I persist. I withheld callbacks thus far. I reside here in my flat, the identical one they derided, gazing at my portable where replicas of all lawful records display precisely how I engineered this across 7 years. How each choice, each preserved coin, each acquired ability targeted this precise result. They desired my memorial, declared me their gravest error, wished my termination. Reveled my nullity before 30 souls as I exteriorly documented all. Now they brand me fiend for claiming their abode, for devoting 7 years to embodying the entity capable truly, for transforming their gravest error into their direst terror. I documented that affair purposefully, retained that footage purposefully, erected this firm purposefully. And now I deliberate the forthcoming step as they flail desperate, and I'm sole arbiter of impending doom. Yet uncertainty grips if desire persists. What action would you take? Update 1. You sought progression, and frankly, I've scanned remarks when slumber evaded. Some deemed me merciless, others urged pardon. And many queried the dialogue upon eventual exchange, thus current status. And complexities surpass mere abode. I permitted 3 days ferment, ignored every ring, ignored dispatches, zilch. Merely labored, returned, sustained routine as my device flickered with their frenzy. On fourth dawn, my father materialized at my flat. Thursday midday, circa 2. I remote labor frequently now via software advisory. Thus present when he rapped, I unlatched and Harold appeared a decade elder in mere week. He commenced discourse pre my utterance, stating necessity of addressing this plight. That misconception prevailed. That assuredly I lacked intent to seize progenitor's abode. He reiterated assuredly as if transformative. I admitted him. Compelled stance in my front area, withheld seating or refreshment or aught. He queried feasibility. How acquired their lending, when transpired. Thus I narrated, guided him through entirety. How at 23 I immersed in property ventures. How erected firm amid his kin declarations of my life squander. How monitored each restructuring. Awaited optimal instant. Maneuvered acquisition upon circulation. He interjected fivefold, yet I overrode. Detailed online venture seminars attended. Attorney fees disbursed. Alliance forged with fellow venturers and lending intermediaries. Clarified covert subsidization of their dues 2 years via servicing entity. Buoyancy sans awareness. And cessation in January deliberately for arrears accrual. Harold's visage cycled 15 shades amid narration. Astonishment, bewilderment, fury, skepticism. He proclaimed illegality, asserted impropriety in orchestration. I summoned records on portable instantly and displayed. Each exchange, each shift, each corporate element, all valid, all overt, all contrived 7 years toward this stance. Then he pivoted strategy, invoked paternity, how they nurtured, nourished, garbed, funded my learning. I recalled community college abandonment and his ensuing quitter epithets years on. He termed it stern affection, parental impetus toward elevation. I queried if memorial festivity ranked stern affection too. He dared chuckle. Deemed mere jest, all discerned unserious, my oversensitivity toward 7-year antiquity. I extracted device and broadcast the capture. Compelled living room audition of his self-declaration as gravest error. Compelled Margaret's termination quip. Compelled Laura's void label amid 30 cheers. Harold silenced. Demanded cessation. I persisted. Permitted full 12 minutes. Upon conclusion, he cited unauthorized capture illegality. I noted one-party assent jurisdiction and my auditory rights. Further, attorney vetted capture for judicial viability if requisite. Then outburst ensued. Branded me familial destroyer over sentiments. Petty, spiteful. Financial maltreatment. I countered what he termed exterior vigil of kin reveling nullity. He distinguished, verbal mere, this life ruinous. We sparred thus circa 40 minutes. He deployed all. Guilt via kin bonds. Indictments of instability. Legal threats, decency pleas. I recurrently reverted to memorial. To Laura contrasts, to each relative shaming. Harold conceded party erroneous, admitted excess. Margaret imbibed excessively, theme overreach. Laura jested innocently, if apology sufficed, tendered, regret expressed. Now could abode resolution proceed? I deemed 7-year tardy pardon amid abode peril mere alarm, not sincerity. He solicited desires. What halted seizure? I confessed uncertainty, required reflection, and departure he demurred. Anchored on my settee asserting immobility sans resolution. Detailed Margaret's home weeping. Stress-induced ailment. Consulted Laura on cohabitation yet her single chamber limits. Asserted impending progenitor destitution over festivity. I queried housing obligation basis. He invoked sonship. I noted his 30-year nullification of sonship value. He deemed unfair, parental critique normative. My normalcy to revenge conversion. Revenge. As if my deeds eclipsed their decades, I clarified non-revenge, consequences. His fiscal errors, multiple restructures, arrears. I merely acquired circulating debt, enforced clauses, all lawful. All valid, he fiend-labeled. Asserted nurtured son incapable. I recalled nurtured son as gravest error, perhaps relief in divergence. He departed, slamming portal fiercely, dislodging hallway fixture. 2 hours later, Laura arrived. Sibling denying my existence to circles. She rapped thrust entry unbidden upon unlatching. Instant discourse on familial rending. Progenitors shattered, all from just intolerance. I broadcast her capture too. Compelled audition of her void proclamation. She cited 23-year youth, utterances unintended. Prior sibling brattiness pardoned implicitly. I solicited instance, none specific, implied naturally, siblings banter routinely. I clarified non-banter, festivity oration, toasted failure publicly kinward. Laura deemed dramatic, all discerned fun, none truly believed. I queried existence denial to acquaintances if fun. She paused, then college singular, roommate prying, evading intricate dynamics. I probed persistence. She negated. Visage suggested ambiguity. Laura pivoted empathy. Acknowledged injury, festivity malice, discernible fury rationale, yet abode seizure excessive, ruthless. Ruinous to progenitors' retirement horizons, she noted 30-year labor loss. I countered my 7-year orchestration. Evidently long-range adept. Sans void, she infuriated, yelled trickery, concealment, had awareness of mortgage pursuit prevention. I queried legal transaction halt method. Unanswered, merely unfairness, inequity. Kin abstained such internally. I recalled principal absence 7 years prior. Tombstone crafts with my visage. She youth stupid. I noted 23 sufficed for promotional success acclaim, yet insufficient accountability for fraternal humiliation publicly. We clashed exceeding hour. Guilt, fury, haggling, renewed guilt, forewarned regret, solitary sans kin via hubris. I noted functional solitude lifelong, minimal threat. She bitter twisted labeled. I queried cheer forgiveness expectation. Pre-exit Laura warned maternal visitation intent. At minimum audition. Vanessa utmost distressed. Daily tears post-notice. I countered 30-year upset indifference. She distinguished quietude obfuscated injury. How discernment absent? I permitted air suspension. Injury conveyance barred by festivity celebrating disappointment. Laura answerless. She exited. Maternal absent yet dispatch-laden. Extended missives on non-intent. Parental frustration unintended utterances. Perpetual affection albeit poorly shown. Dispatched juvenile snapshots. Birthdays, Yuletides, kin excursions. As if erasing 30-year unfavorable Laura contrasts. Vanessa's recent dispatch acknowledged injury yet superior handling sans fiscal ruin. Proposed kin counseling, professional reconciliation. Ought to mend bonds if seizure halted. Unresponded. Meanwhile, 30-day active. Seizure advances sans full settlement impossible. Herald rang 17-fold yesterday, blocked subsequently. Laura dispatched from maternal device seeking response. Kin initiated contact. Festivity attendees querying crisis, aid offers for mend. None contrite. Zero party laughers admitted error. All prioritize abatement, forward motion, abode salvage. None address antecedents, merely erase for normalcy resumption, yet normalcy undesired. Normalcy their worthlessness treatment amid my incomprehensible edifice. Normalcy unbidden dinners, absence relief. Normalcy mistake letdown, shame. Realization dawns this transcends abode, cracks grander fissure. Herald Margaret alarm fiscal nullity. Laura dismayed potential cohabitation, fiscal drain. Kin intervene, factionalize, and I power-seated, observing scramble, discerning true desires. Some commentary urged abode claim, finality. Others negotiate, impel comprehension predecision. Few pardon via kin bonds, yet none exteriorly pain-vigiled 7 years past, 30 souls saluting nullity. Thus query renews, power-wielding, update 2. Remarks varied wildly. Some urged total raise, others cruelty chided. Few shared venomous kin tales easing my isolation frankly. Yet escalation unforeseen, novel disarray atop original. Maternal materialized Saturday dawn. Evaded dispatches rings near week, yet Margaret tenacious. Wrapped 7 morn deliberate as my early labor known. Unlatched she puffy-eyed unadorned, sweat-clad rarity lifelong doubled. Solicited discourse, admitted as paternal. Withheld offerings. She seated unbidden instant sobfist, not subdued, profound weeps. Unalimented, unslept, stress physical torment, recurrent abode loss reverie, relocation quandary, acquaintance humiliation via progeny seizure disclosure. I awaited completion. 10 minutes on abode, fiscal retirement unravel. Then juvenile pivot, birth pride. Herald neighbor flaunting carriage, sweet progeny, queried divergence onset my fury distance. I probed genuine ignorance or feign. She conceded party upset, erroneous, imbibed excess, unintended. I noted 7-year antiquity pre-mortgage ownership, apology window. She presumed minimal injury, my silence, mere busyness assumption. Halted me momentarily, logic inverted near ludicrous. Post-memorial avoidance signaled non-injury. Margaret noted independence, self-reliance, minimal need unlike Laura's demand. Thus Laura focus as needier. I queried pre-party eras, contrasts, rebukes, perpetual disappointment messaging. She parental potential push motivative, queried mistake label motivation. She Roger dramatic, frustration unintended, circled hour-long. Specific apologies, instant justifications, minimizations. Party lore idea, her enthusiasm concurrence. Tombstone just roast. Unawareness of exterior capture, odd fixation. I queried 7-year firm edifice, mortgage position rationale if unbothered. She unknown secrecy, betrayal feel, kin abstain concealments. I recalled uninvited memorial. She distinguished singular eve versus year's plot. Plot villainous rather than diligent venture. I clarified non-plot. Legitimate enterprise amid failure proclamations. She never faced direct failure. Broadcast her termination quip anew. Margaret intensified weeps. Self-audition nausea incredulity imbibed fury stupid, queried party fury basis, prolonged quiet. Then third restructure denial, fiscal constriction. My 30 struggle mirrored their penury. First sincerity, non-party ire. Fiscal anxiety displaced onto me, problem designation over selfers. If Laura-like success, potential fiscal aid. I queried utility valuation. She negated, visage contradicted, silence ensued. Then Vanessa queried seizure halt terms, not willingness but requisites, transactional, I uncertainty confessed. She half-elapsed notice urgency, alternative abode planning. Apartment hunts on Herald pension, her partial earnings. Budget confines bad zones, cramped, deposit lacking, displayed listings, square metrics, securities, furniture culls. Guilt induction via tangibles, yet evoked my derided flat. Failure son adequate, yet them insufficient. I urged exit, she implored concretes. Any desire or scheme. Pre-30 elapse notification assured, queried true homelessness intent. I countered termination preference query, she departed. That eve, Laura group chatted me Harold Margaret, initial adult discourse plea, unmuted, persistent familial problem work destruction aversion. Harold reasonable solution willingness. Margaret tiricons, I silenced labored, consulting due duties sans crisis management. Sunday midday Uncle Dennis rang, recalled, party chortler, queried abode plight mediation offer. Nephew care familial rend aversion. I recalled memorial. Paused, uncomfortable excess yet drama avoidance, queried video chuckle basis. Polite familial event laughter, unfunny jests inclusive. Mediation ineptitude via excuses. Defensive, unreasonability. Party malice conceded yet abode extreme, penalty crime mismatch. Queried 30-year worthlessness penalty aptness. Unanswered. Suggested progenitor abode retention, my rent. Power preserved, homelessness averted. Untwisted viability. Monthly reminder of failure son ownership. Yet perpetual landlord tie erroneous feel. Dennis pushed. Heartlessness contrast, compromise display, kin non-destructor view. Considered, terminated. Researched state rental statutes. Comparable neighborhood tariffs. Ownership conversion mechanics, increasing intricacy. Tenancy entailed duties. Property upkeep, repair responses, eviction protocols, non-payment. Alternative bondage, persistent. Harold Margaret likely rent lag post months, eviction compel. Monday novel snag. Laura reappeared, Marcus accompanied. Twice met, brief kin guilts. Doorway unease. Laura Marcus man discourse intent. Admitted curiosity driven. Marcus seated, familial complexity empathy, parental issues shared, yet fiscal destruction non-remedial. Calm sage tone. Queried parental memorial. Negated yet universal issues. Queried mistake toast pre-30. Hurtful conceded future past pivot necessity. Aging progenitors support need. Bridge incineration later regret. Laura interjected reflection, anger rationale. Party cruelty responsibility assumed. Marcus concurred trauma creation, familial villain shift from victim. Queried story concern. Universal impact. Marcus parents queries, dysfunction explanation embarrassment. Childhood abode progeny seizure. Marcus solution focus. Discount tree cell suggestion, superior term remortgage. Noted mortgage ineligibility, restructure rationale. Perhaps owner finance, affordable schedule. Queried investment, unease. Laura, marriage deliberations. Cohabitation aversion, fiscal relationship disruption. True visit motive, non-progenitor homelessness. Her encumbrance, I exit-urged. Marcus persisted, door open stance, compelled departure. Hallway pivot, childishness, option discussion, refusal, unreasonability proof. Portal closed. Tuesday now, 6 deadline days. Servicing entity directive emails. Harold Margaret box backing per Laura dispatches. Kin ring cessation, side selections. Realization, decision irrespective, unanticipated closure. Abode claim non-comprehension inducer. Victimizes their narrative. Abode relinquish nullifies 7-year labor planning, their escape. Kin bonds, uncertainty, temporal pinch, final update. Resolution sought. Some presume capitulation, pardon, abode retention, bond rebuild. Others nuclear watch, street boxes, reality messier, duels evading, processing lingers. 3 notice days remaining when Harold rematerialized. No wrap. Building intercom, immobility vow, nocturnal vigil threat. Admitted fatigue driven. Entered instant proposal. Weak financial advisor, kin consults, payoff scramble. Impossible. Kin funds absent, lender denial. Proposal. Affordable schedule assent, partial abode session exchange. Queried partiality, 50%. Continued occupancy upkeep yet legal half mine, monthly until satisfaction. Default, full mine. Compliance, sale split future. Least objectionable heard yet leniency feel. Noted proposal antecedent ignorance. Financial mere, memorial nonchalance pretend. Herald party matter conceded, past irreversibility, practicality focus. Queried party comprehension. Cruelty, impropriety, pushed rationale, 30-turn memorial aptness, room failure toast acceptability, prolonged quiet, unexpected admission. My 20 struggle, Laura success evoked paternal brother. Harold's elder kin letdown, school quit, building labor, minimal achievement, childhood favorable contrast, smart success acclaim. My college quit, building echoed, fury trigger. Not personal, situational, generational letdown, dread. Pushed criticized motivated parental method, ineffective duel. Queried memorial specificity. Vanessa fiscal nadir. Debt consolidation denial. Refinance payment drown, my 30 nullity fixation amid 55 broke. Displacement. Me problem over selfers. Easiest mockery join over self-confront. Utmost paternal candor. No stern affection, dynamics errant jest. Truth. Scapegoat for self-failures. Each Laura contrast. Choice rebuke, potential squander suggestion, self-disappointment projection. Queried 7-year firm, house position rationale. Extreme seem, grudge endurance incomprehension. Clarified non-anger, proof. Failure void mistake disproof. Herald proof conceded, capability smart success evident, seizure forced revelation. Noted insufficiency, non-credit for fear-induced respect. Built sans destruction acknowledgement. Fiscal, worth proof necessity, sonship insufficiency, existence justification. He teared genuinely. Father failure apology, 30 damage irretrievability. Soul, acknowledgement, betterment trial chance given. Queried betterment visage. Unknown yet collaborative if permitted. Considered proposal, urged exit. Pre-deadline reconvene plea, maternal inclusive, genuine discourse. Friday assent, foreclosure eve. Friday arrival, further 5-year aged. Margaret notebook scripted oration prepped, multi-sheets. Reflection role, Elaine need favor, complaint-free fine assumption. Halted, unprepared authenticity plea. Papers down, lost seam. Eventual, converse ineptitude, 30 talk at about sands with queried termination quip. Imbibed upset cruel humor trial, non-birth wish, frustration hurt, easy target absentia. Worsened by non-audition knowledge, unimaginable exterior capture, queried video reviews. Centennial admitted, torture query, reminder response. Relationship men doubt, video revert. Non-representative claim, queried true thoughts. Vague love best wish pride, specifics evaded, non-existent. Non-accomplishment attention. Herald proposal redirect, 60% adjustment, elevated schedules, queried percentage negotiation. Unknown offerings, 2-week reflection. Justice hollow revenge discernment, grovel undo 30 damage viability, functional bond version. No non-unwillingness or eternal sufferance but foundational fracture perennial. Worthlessness imprint, 7 proof. Now power acknowledgement credit desire. Fear non-growth, proceed seizure declaration, Margaret wept. Herald mind alter plea. No non-punishment, relationship and non-functional best, done permission, queried relocation. Non-priority precedent. Herald aged poverty condemnation. Self-condemnation via decades debt holder happenstance. Laura 17 rings that eve, mistake regret voicemails, family chance destruction, most unlistened deletions. Texts unforgiveness, Marcus cruelty concur, life exclusion, unresponded, Saturday finalization, abode mine official. Servicing notice, 30 vacate days, procedural mandate, herald final ring, eviction confirm, assent. Victory point proof revenge claim, clarified non-victory, queered essence, doneness. 30 respect earned cessation from non-givers, initial broken mend abandon over fixed trial, 3 weeks later exodus, Uncle Dennis spare room per Karen. Brother help despite struggles, Karen self-good query progenitor destitution, noted non-destitute housed self-resolution, cold label, warmth end to memorial throwers, marketed abode last week. Sale covers owed, 7 planning yield. Purchaser, youthful kin duo kids, neighborhood schoolyard enthusiasm. History ignorant, memorial seizure null, mere abode, some disappointment presumed, forgiveness lack, others harsher urge, yet requisite. Non-monetary sale nice, box watch, satisfaction admitted. Self-proof, entrapment escape, version rejection, mistake choice doneness. Laura recent dispatch, adjustment struggles, cramped depression, fix viable, forgiveness skin duty, blocked. Recording retained, multi-saved. Non-view window vigil memory 7 years past. Decision instant, sufficiency attempt cessation, self-adequate edifice initiation. They hosted memorial festivity. Exterior failure toast audition. All documented window grin and recent week secret 7-year revelation. Today, spare room dwellers while I their abode vend. Mistake declared, proved mutual.